Hey everybody, welcome back. In this video, we are going to be covering T4 rankings. If you haven't seen these before, what I do is I rank every single T4 upgrade in the entire game for every single character. I've got a number of different classifications for them, and then within those classifications, I rank them so that you can see on an individual basis what the best ones in the game are. Obviously, there's different things you can do as far as teams, etc. And while sometimes you got to factor those in, this is really just looking at the overall ranking of a specific T4 upgrade and how much kind of bang for your buck you get. It really helps me when deciding what to spend those rare and valuable T4 ability mats on. In this video, I've included all of the new Fantastic Four abilities that we know about. So let's get after it and see which one of those are key and also how high up they rank. All right, so what you can see behind me is the spreadsheet that I use to rank all of these T4 ability mats. Real quick overview on what it is. You'll see that I've got a number of different rankings. I've color coded them. It goes from great to good to okay to to meh to crap and to total crap. So one other thing that I should explain on these is since there's so many increases in damage, that I actually rank the damage increases, and that's based on the base damage of that particular character. I do it at level 70, no red stars, 7 yellow stars, gear tier 11, mainly because I feel like that's semi-achievable for most people. And I've got these just kind of ranked here at the bottom where it's just simply, it's talking about how big the increase is, and it's ranked from 1 to... how many we got now? 196. So that gives you the overall kind of like this places this damage increase at this spot. So when I talk about the rankings, that's what I'm talking about. So having said that, let's get into the actual rankings up at the top. Okay, so first, before I get into the very top, I want to just show you the ones that I've included since the last time. It's basically Mysterio, the Fantastic Four that we know about, Thing, Mr. Fantastic, Human Torch, and then of course Namor. So again, the ones that don't have numbers next to them, I don't necessarily categorize, or I don't rank within that category because I'm just kind of putting them there for the time being, and if I see they need to change, I do that. So the first one that pops up is Mysterio's passive. I've just got him as kind of a the +5 focus for self per Spider-Verse ally. You know, I do think that's a nice focus increase, but I think his focus is already pretty high, so I'm kind of like, meh. And I think his mirrors images are terrible. So the fact that instead of getting 1 to 2, you guaranteed 2 and some increased damage, I'm like, nah, I'm not spending anything on that. All right, then I've got the Mr. Fantastic's passive, Mr. Fantastic's basic, Namor's basic, Mysterio's basic, all in the okay category. And they're showing up at the end here, but that doesn't mean that they're the end of this category. They're just in this category, like I said. So Mysterio's basic, what you can see here is it's some increased damage. So again, I mentioned this earlier that when I do damages, and it's I rank it aside, it comes in at 92nd as far as a damage increase, which is just okay. And then +1 positive effect clear from 2 to 3. So, and again, I don't think that's great. It's just okay. Namor's basic, same thing. He's here. That comes in ranked at 133rd. Mr. Fantastic basic, some damage increase, chained to an additional target, but it's broken when there's a counter, and then some additional damage. The primary damage is ranked 118. So again, just whatever. And then Mr. Fantastic's passive. This one has the ability to move up, but right now I've only got it in the okay category. It's really about increasing the focus for himself and the Fantastic Four allies. I think their focus is going to be high enough, but I don't know. That's why it's where it's at. It might be pushed up depending how that kind of shakes out. On turn, choose an additional random enemy, up from 2 now to 3. And if they have a positive effect, only remove 1. This is Yondu-esque where it's like, okay, you can pick 3 people and remove an ability. I don't know. You might pick somebody that doesn't have one. So I'm not investing T4s for that specific thing. Next up, Namor Special. Some additional damage to primary target, additional damage to adjacent targets. On target block, that stayed the same, some additional piercing. So, and it's on primary and adjacent. Now you can see I put a ranking onto this just to kind of get it somewhere. So I'm thinking this one is actually a possibility of going up. It's ranked 70th damage wise. So I could see this one definitely bumping up, but right now I've just kind of got it in this category. Things passive. This is about when he gets attacked. He attacks that enemy for an additional 25% damage, some additional armor for himself, and the Fantastic Four and Namor allies. And that damage is ranked 114th, so that's actually a pretty decent increase given that it's just a counter. But since it's a counter, it's kind of like the real focus here of whether it might move up or not is the additional armor. Mysterio special, 30% chance to gain assist from a random ally, so it's 100% assist. This is Miss Marvel-esque in that regard, so it's kind of like every time he attacks, he's gonna get an assist. So that's actually pretty good. There's a good chance that that's gonna move up, to be honest with you. If target is city hero, plus 30% chance to apply ability block. I already have said my opinions on that ability. I don't like the fact that you're getting blinds and ability blocks in the same thing. It just doesn't make sense to me. All right, Human Torch. All right, so this one is solid. It's actually in the good category, and this is Human Torch Basic. It's plus 30% damage, and then bleeds for plus 1 turn from 1 to 2. So it'll sit for 2 turns. That damage increase is ranked 57. So that's, like I said, pretty solid. Things special, plus 40% damage to primary and secondary targets. Bonus attack 2 times, up from 1 to 2 times. So it takes the RNG aspect away. You're definitely attacking 2 times. So it's really about what's the damage that you're getting from this. And that current one is ranked 56. Again, pretty good. Things basic, pure damage increase. So let's see where it ranks. 35th. So that's actually, you know, I could see that bumping up a little bit depending where the rest of those kind of damage marks are as far as the other characters go. Mysterio's ult, plus 60% damage to all enemies. Apply heal block to all enemies, up from 2. The heal block part of this is the part that really is kind of like, do you want to heal block everybody or not? Is going to determine whether you want to invest them. The T4s in this ability. The damage ranking on it is 65th. So it's okay, it's good. Mr. Fantastic Ult, plus 60% damage to up to 450. I've ranked it as a good category, and that's 66th as far as the damage increase. And you can see here that, you know, obviously Mysterio's you'd want to place in front of that as far as rankings go. But again, when I get to the end of these good rankings and stuff, or even from the middle to the end, I'm not really worried. I'm more trying to get them into a general category so I just know if it's decent or not. All right, so Cyclops, I have yellow just because he's not in the game. All right, and then Mr. Fantastic Special, plus 70% damage to primary and a guaranteed stun. It frustrates me that to get the guaranteed stun here, you got to get the T4. So how big is the damage increase for this T4? You can see I don't have it solid marked in the column here as solid or anything like that. But it's ranked as the 47th best increase as far as damage. So guaranteed stun, if you're really investing in this team, maybe it's worth it given that the damage is pretty solid. So Human Torch passive. So I've already kind of said this is a solid upgrade. On turn, flip +1 negative effects, so now 2 instead of 1, on self to a positive effect. So switch 2 negatives to 2 positives. Plus 10% damage for self and Fantastic for allies and Namor. So what's that damage increase? It's 10. It's only 187, but again, that's plus damage everywhere across the board. So you got to kind of factor that in. So I think that's the damage across the board is pretty decent. The one extra negative effect flip, I don't know, maybe. This is the part where you can see the difference from good to great. The great T4 abilities are the ones that I'm really typically kind of say, yeah, this is a really, you know, you're not going to go wrong when you upgrade here. There's 45 of the ones in great, so I don't want to go through every one of those in detail. I'm going to kind of start scrolling up a little bit until I get to the first Fantastic Four one, and then I will talk about it and then maybe do like the top 25 or 30, depending kind of where we're at with the abilities. So scrolling up here, and you can see the numbers here, just what the order I did them in. But again, some of these other ones weren't available at the time, so you know, it just changes. So the first one in the great category for Fantastic Four is Human Torch Special. I'm calling this an essential, and this is without even knowing what's up with Invisible Woman. You gain +1 offensive up to a maximum of 5. Apply +1 offensive up to a maximum of 3 to all up from 3 Fantastic Four or Namor allies, plus 50% damage. So, if you didn't follow that, instead of getting offense up for 1 turn, you get it up for 2 turns on himself. Instead of offense up for 1 turn on 3 Fantastic Four allies, it's offense up to all Fantastic Four allies, plus 50% damage increase. So, and this is for him. So to me, it's like it's a guaranteed offensive up to all his allies and himself. I think that's an essential. It's huge, especially when we get to it. Namor's passive, he'll just add on to this. So the increased damage here for this one, 50%, ranks in at 36, which is pretty good. You can see kind of off to the side here, that's what that ranking is, 36. So all in all, that's a really good upgrade. Groot's passive, I'll just mention this, dropped a bit. It used to be higher, but it now that it's not 2 turns, it's only 1. I mean, it's still a 100% chance, so that's why I consider it great, but really like that for 2 turns. All right, the next Fantastic Four one is Thing Ultimate, plus 60% damage. So it's really all about how's the ranking come there. 18th. So that's a really good damage increase. 18th ranked increase. Good bang for your buck there as far as the damage goes. Pyro Special, love it. Ultron, all of his stuff is so critical. Iron Fist. All right, next one up here. Just before, all right, so the top 20 actually. So let's go 25 here. So Ultron Basic, it's a great attack. I mean, he's amazing. So there's, let's see what the ranking is off to the side here. 15th. So I don't know. You don't even need to. I don't need to get into it. Iron Fist's ultimate plus 100%. It used to be higher. The damage increase there is ranked 12th. Spider-Man Basic, Winter Soldier ultimate. Believe it or not, it's used on first turn. Plus 80% damage increase. That ranks 14th as far as the best damage increase. Vision Basic. That used to be my number 1, 2. You can see over here. My previous rankings on this were 3. Just fantastic ability. America Chavez. I talked to her about her in another video. This ultimate, plus 80% damage. The increase there is ranked 8th. It's a really good bang for your buck as far as T formats and getting some damage increase. Korath Ult. This used to be 1 because of the damage increase. It's ranked 7th overall, and you can use it first go. It's just Korath he's a good character, but he just doesn't really have a good spot right now, and it's kind of hard for me to justify, really having that high up. Scarlet Witch Special, always apply defense up to allies, up from 50% chance. I think that's a great ability. Black Panther passive, always, increase that speed bar by 100% as opposed to 80. I still actually haven't done that, but mainly because I haven't gotten to my Wakandans. All right, next Fantastic Four ability here is Namor's passive. I'm calling this, again, essential. Plus 10% damage for a 20% total, plus 10% armor for a 30% total, specific to War Offense. So the rest of the stuff I'm going to say is specific for War Offense. If you don't care about War, I probably got this ranked way too high. But I care about War. I think most people care about War, so I've got it ranked pretty high. On War Offense, on spawn, apply offense up for 2 turns to all, up from 3. So now you went from 3 allies to all your Fantastic Four allies and self. That's big. That's just 2 turns offensive up to all Fantastic Four teammates. On spawn, apply deflect for 2 turns to all, up from 3. So basically what's happening here is that you're getting deflect and offense up for 2 turns to all Fantastic Four allies. That is amazing. It's great. I'm curious to see if the deflect stacks with a hanger. I doubt it does, but 2-turn deflect, 2-turn offensive up, plus what could happen with Human Torch is +1. 100% essential here as far as Fantastic Four and War upgrades. He also does plus 10% damage for a 30% increase, and Fantastic Four allies also get 10% damage for a total 30% increase. So that damage increase ranks 183rd, but honestly, it's across the board. It's good, and everything else in this is so good you kind of have to do it. So I consider that essential. I've got it ranked at 17th. Ultron Ult comes at 16th. All right, so the next one up, just in front of Ultron Ult, is a Human Torch Ult. This is one I'm considering an essential upgrade. It's a plus 60% damage to all enemies, and you now apply offense down to all enemies, which previously was only 3. So now it's everybody across the board. That's a huge start, and he's a super fast character, so you can use this. And obviously, you don't get it first turn, but he's gonna get it pretty quick. So as you're fighting there, when the other team starts to get their ults or heavy hits, hopefully you can get that offense down. The damage increase ranking, 19th. So again, good bang for your buck there. Next up, Captain Marvel Passive. That's obviously a great one. Additional damage to all enemies on when she's got her binary effect, and then plus 10% healing, which is huge. All right, so the next Fantastic Four one that's up again is Namor's Ult. 50% damage increase for a total of 300%. Again, on war offense, clear all up from 3 positive effects from each target. So imagine fighting Ultron, having positive effects all across the board, and just going with Namor's Ult going, see ya, by every single positive effect to everybody. So obviously his focus needs to be pretty high to be able to pull this off well, and that might be where the Fantastic or Mr. Fantastic's passive comes into play a little bit, becoming a little bit more essential, because this ability getting off is huge. Okay, so and then on top of that, change speed bar by an additional negative 10% for a total of negative 50% on all targets. So let's see what the damage increase rank there is. 97th. So it's a 97 increase, or 97th ranked increase. Not too bad. To me, this is all about clearing all the positive effects, though, and that's why I've got it ranked so high. Miss Marvel's passive, which obviously the additional assist. Magneto passive for all the Brotherhood. Dark Phoenix and Dark Phoenix's basics right at 11. Just it's a good damage increase. Thanos passive right at 10. Ultron special, where you're guaranteed the 3 minions. Captain Marvel special, it's a huge damage increase if you didn't know. Plus 90, comes ranked in at 6th. Cyclops I've got up here, but again, he's subject to change, so I've got that highlighted yellow. Same thing with Cyclops, highlighted yellow. Dark Phoenix Ult comes in at 4th, and that's ranked 10th when it's in Dark Phoenix form. The clear all the positive effects is why it's ranked as high. Dark Phoenix and Phoenix passive at 3rd. Again, that's just great for your X-Men. Captain Marvel Ult, plus 100% damage, coming in at number 2. And it's actually ranked number 2 as far as damage increases go. And it's a first turn, so it's obviously a great ability. And then at the top of my list is America Chavez Special. It's plus 50% damage, plus 25% damage per hero brawler, which you'll have 4 of. So this is essentially a 150% damage increase. So given that, her damage rank is number 1, and you can see it is a dramatic increase over the number 2 ranked ability. And that's why I have that rank number 1. So I hope these help you kind of make some decisions. I put these, the link to the spreadsheet will be in the description below. If you got questions, comment below. Tell me what you're thinking. Is there something I've totally missed? Is there something that, how could I, think that ability is so good? I'd love to hear it. As you can see, the spreadsheet is extensive. It is so long, and you can just go cross-eyed looking at it for too much. So I fully admit that I might miss things on here. So I'd love to hear from you guys. So now, and I had a giveaway in one of my other videos, so I want to get to that now and give a $25 gift card to the Play Store of your choice, whether it's Google or Apple, to the winner. This giveaway was based on those who knew a specific reference that I made to In Living Color on one of my previous videos. So let's get to who the winner is. All right, so we're on our pick random winner from our YouTube comments. And again, this was from my video regarding the Sinister Six, and specific to anybody who knew a comment that I had about hated it. So let's see who got it. Winner is King Ryan 14 in Living Color. That's right. And then he talked about the game mostly, but yeah, in Living Color was it. So congratulations, King Ryan. If you message me either here or on Discord, we'll find a way to get you a $25 gift card for either the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. And you can use it to buy whatever the heck you want. You can be on this game or music or movies or whatever. So anyway, thanks for commenting, and I'll make sure to do more of these again in the future. Thanks again for stopping by. I hope this video helped, whether it's just kind of learning about the T4 abilities, seeing some that you might have not thought about before. Again, leave a comment if you've got some type of insight into something that I maybe missed, or something that maybe helped you. Always appreciate that. Hammer down on that like button, click that notification bell, click that subscription button, share with your friends. Anything you want to do to help the channel grow, it's always appreciated. So, and I've got a new Discord server getting ready to go out, so I'll have more details on that coming up for any of those who are interested. And again, thanks for stopping by, and hope to see you guys again soon.